All right, so today we have gotten to the end of our self-esteem book. So for the last week of self-esteem, we're going to review everything that we went over, right? And we're going to talk about some of the ways that we can show good self-esteem, right? And come up with some ways that you guys can practice that together as a team for yourself, for your family, for your friends. Hi, Mr. Ben. There you are. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to start by recapping some of the things that we went over. The first thing that we did on week 1 was we went over the story of the turkey and the eagle, right? Who remembers the story? Okay, well, we got Miss Violet up on the screen. Hold on one second. All right, so on week 1, we talked about the story of the turkey and the eagle, right? And we learned how important it is to not do stuff for other people or let people always do things for us, but to encourage people to do it on their own and to learn how to do things on our own, right? Instead of always relying on somebody else. So self-esteem comes from accomplishing things, right? From showing yourself that you can do it and believing in yourself and setting those goals. So we're going to talk about some of that today. We are going to quickly go over defining self-esteem one more time and then talk about some of the ways we can show it. Miss Catherine, go ahead, ma'am. Oh, I cannot hear you. Are you connected to the audio? It says you're unmuted, but I can't hear your voice. Do you want to type it in the chat? Maybe one of your parents can come help you fix the audio. All right, so we are going to start off quickly with defining self-esteem. So if you take a look at the book here, those of you that have it, we get some more people in the room. Here we go. So quickly, self-esteem is a confidence and satisfaction in oneself, right? So feeling good and strong about ourselves. So Miss Catherine, if you want to look at the book from the app, it's under resources and then the life skills section. You just have to find self-esteem. But even if you don't have it, we're going to read through and I'm going to show you some parts of it today. So it's okay if you don't have the book right in front of you. All right, so I am going to pick some people that have the book to read a couple of the parts today. So if you do have it, then that would be great too. I know Mr. Aiden's always got his book. He's ready to go. So self-esteem is the joy of being who we are. It describes how we perceive and value ourselves. When we feel good about ourselves, independent of the circumstances that surround us, we show self-esteem. We can nurture our self-esteem by making a conscious decision to perceive everything in our lives positively. This way, in time, we develop a positive attitude towards life. Right? So self-esteem is not always just about us, which we're going to talk about in a minute too. It's about choosing to see things positively, right? Not everything always goes perfect or the way that we plan it. We might make mistakes sometimes. Other people might make mistakes. But our goal as people with good self-esteem and as leaders is to find ways to make those things positive and to learn from them, right? All right, so next paragraph, and then I'm going to pick someone to read. People with high self-esteem believe in themselves and feel appreciated by others. The lack of self-esteem makes people insecure. Some people with self-esteem often use other sources to help them deal with life. But people with high self-esteem, on the other hand, find joy in simply being who they are. All right, can I have Mr. Aiden, since I know you got the book ready. I'm going to unmute you and go ahead and read the next paragraph. If we accept ourselves.
If we accept ourselves the way we are, if when looking at ourselves we see our true beauty without criticizing ourselves, we become strong and feel like we can do anything. Self-esteem allows us to perceive challenges in our lives as opportunities to outshine the general expectations.
Nice job. Mr. Aiden, you're an awesome reader.
Thank you.
All right, so when we have a high level of self-esteem, we surround ourselves with positive people. We seek mentors, educate ourselves, and celebrate our accomplishments and those of others. We enjoy our jobs and we enjoy the time we spend with our family and friends. We love and accept others the way they are. All right, does anybody else have the book? Mr. Aiden? All right, Mr. Aiden, can you go ahead and read those last 2 lines? So we must always remember.
We must always remember that we are unique. There exists no one else quite like us in the entire universe. This is why we are so very special. Later, we will talk about the 3 levels of self-esteem: what we see, what we say, and what we do. Now we will describe the 8 pillars on which self-esteem is founded: confidence, positive attitude, self-awareness, accountability, gratitude, generosity, humility, forgiveness.
Nice job, Mr. Aiden. Those are a lot of big words. Good job. All right. So basically, all this is talking about is seeing ourselves and other people in a positive way, right? Choosing to see the world in a good way. So we're going to go through again and talk about each one of those things that Mr. Aiden said. At the end, we are going to re-practice the pillars. So first, the first part of the book, which you guys practiced with Mr. Pizzillo, for those of you that were there, is what we see and what we think, right? So self-esteem starts before you even say anything, before you do anything. It's how you think about yourself, right? If you do something and you think, oh, that wasn't good, or I can't do this, or if you think those things, you think negatively, then that's already going to start you off feeling bad about yourself, right? So it starts with ourselves because we can't help other people until we have something, right? Can I give you something that I don't have? No, right? Like if Miss Haley asks me for a copy of the life skill book, but I don't have it, I can't give it to her, right? So same thing, I can't help somebody else to feel good about themselves and be confident and have self-esteem if I don't do it for myself first, right? I can't teach somebody something if I don't have it, right? So who can tell me a couple of things that we can think to ourselves to help us build up our self-esteem? By the way, in the beginning, that might be challenging, right? If you're used to thinking negatively and telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good at this, or somebody else is better than me, then it might take a while to change your thoughts, right? But as people with self-esteem and leaders, we take the time to do that for ourselves. So who can give me an example of some positive things you can think about yourself? Mr. Joseph, go ahead and unmute. Or is this Michael?
We can think to ourselves, yes, I can do this, or I try my best.
Perfect. That's awesome, right? Those are the two easy ones. I can do this, and I know that I can do it and try my best. Miss Haley, do you have another answer? Go ahead, ma'am.
You could say that you're doing good.
Doing good, right? The simple ones are the easiest, as long as you're thinking of ways to talk positively about yourself. Miss Jordan, go ahead, ma'am.
I'm smart and hardworking.
Perfect. Those are great ones, right? The more specific you get, the better too. All right, last one, Miss Ashley.
Saying I'm beautiful.
I love it. Perfect. Confidence is key. All right, so now what we say and what we think about what we think and see in other people, right? So choosing to see, like Miss Ashley said, the beauty in other people and know that everybody makes mistakes, right? So if we think that somebody else, they made a mistake and we think negatively about them because of that, right? That, even though it might not change their self-esteem because you didn't say anything to them, but we're going to talk about that later. Just thinking those negative thoughts isn't good for us in general, right? Positivity brings more positivity, okay? So now we're going to move on to what we say and how that can affect us. So what we see and what we think in ourselves and other people is important, but the things that we say can make a big impact too, right? For example, have any of you ever seen the video? Mrs. Force usually does it a few times a year, where if you are lying about something, it can physically change the way that you move or do things, right? There's a challenge. Maybe we'll have to show you when we get to honesty, but if you put your arm out like this, right, and someone tries to pull it down and you say something that's true, you're able to keep it there because you're able to focus and keep your body strong. But when you're lying, so much focus goes into trying to tell a lie that you lose strength because of that. Right? So what we say can actually affect us in a lot of different ways. So just saying positive things about ourselves, thinking those things and then saying them out loud just kind of reaffirms them to us, right? So what are some positive things, again, that we can say about ourselves? Somebody give me different answers. Miss Catherine, go ahead, ma'am. Well, your audio is still not working, but you can type it in the chat and I'll read it to everybody. Something kind. Yes, perfect. Simple, we can say that we are kind, right? That's a good one. Who else has one? More positive things we can say about ourselves. One more. Could be anything in the world. Miss Ashley, go ahead, ma'am. You look nice and cozy, bundled up and ready for Christmas.
We're nice.
Awesome, perfect. We're nice, we're kind. Those are great answers, by the way. It doesn't always have to be things like I'm beautiful or I'm smart. It could be how we help other people, right? Mr. Aiden, go ahead, sir.
Or supportive.
Supportive. Perfect. I love it. So now that we know that, I want to go around the group right now. And I want everybody, Team Richardson, you can type it in the chat, one for each of you. I want everyone to tell me one positive thing about you specifically, right? Not just things that we can say in general. It could be I'm good at bike riding, or I'm a great reader, or I'm awesome at science, or I'm awesome at Roblox, whatever it is. I just want you to give me one positive thing about yourself. So I'm going to give you a second to think. Okay, let's start with Miss Jordan. Do you have an answer, ma'am?
That I'm really good at drawing.
At drawing? Perfect. That's awesome. You're gonna have to show me some of your art next time. That's a great one. All right, Miss Ashley, do you have one? Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm really creative.
Creative. Awesome. That's a great one. The more creative we are, the better our self-esteem is. What's that? Oh, did you make that? That's so cool. I love it. Right? Being creative is a really important trait to have. It's awesome. It helps us to, not just with drawing and making things, but also with making decisions, right? Things like that. All right, Mr. Aiden, go ahead, sir.
Good at math.
Good at math. Awesome. I believe that. Mr. Aiden wants to be a doctor when he grows up. It's a pretty awesome goal. All right, let's see. Mr. Matthew is good at Minecraft. Awesome. It's a fun, creative game. Let's see. Mr. Jack is good at Fortnite. Lots of video games in here. That's still good. Awesome. Takes a lot of coordination. Let's see. Mr. Bahan, am I saying your name right? He is good at reading. Awesome. Mr. Ben is smart. I believe that. Mr. Ben's been doing a great job. He just jumped into class, by the way. Mr. Ben, right here, is one of our newest students. He started during belt testing week, and he is doing an awesome job setting an example for his brother, trying his best in class. Mr. Michael's good at PlayStation. Miss Catherine's good at drawing. Those are awesome, awesome things. Oh, do we have more? Miss Haley, go ahead, ma'am. Get everybody.
I love food.
You love food? What else? Are you good at food? Do you eat lots of healthy foods?
Yes.
That's an awesome thing about yourself, right? Making sure that you keep yourself nice and healthy. Mr. Michael's a good reader. These are some awesome answers. Who hasn't gone yet? Miss Violet, Mr. Oscar? Go ahead. Oh, you wrote it in the chat. Good at writing and drawing. Awesome.
I'm good at writing and drawing. Oscar says he's good at science.
Good at science. That's awesome. How old are you, Mr. Oscar? It's pretty impressive for 5 years old. All right, last one, Miss Jordan. Go ahead, ma'am.
Can I show you a picture that I drew?
Oh, yes, you can. I would love to see it. Look at that. That is awesome. You filled in the whole paper too. That's crazy. I love it. You should draw a mastery dragon next. Super cool. All right. So those are some incredible answers, and it's important that you remind yourself of those things, right? Every day. There might be some things that you're not good at yet or that you need practice on, but instead of focusing on those things, remind yourself how awesome you already are and the things that you're already great at, right? All right. And Miss Haley can make food too. Awesome. Like with Play-Doh or like actual cooking? Oh, very cool. I can't see it. Can you hold it up to the camera? Nice. All right. So what we say to ourselves is very important, but obviously what we say to other people is really important too, right? Other people and how that can affect, like the book said, society and the world, right? At your age, you're not working and you can't exactly go to Africa and help, children in other countries who need help, right? That's not something that you guys can do at your age, but you can make a difference in society and the world just by what you say and how you act to other people, right? So it starts with ourselves because like we talked about earlier, you can't help other people until you can help yourself and until you have something. So now, what are some things that we can say to other people that can affect them and help make them better? Who can give me a couple? Mr. Jack, go ahead and type it in the chat. Miss Haley, go ahead, ma'am, unmute.
You could say you're doing great.
Exactly, right? We can encourage people and help them. Mr. Is it Vahan? Am I saying your name right? Can you tell me how to say it?
Vihan.
Vihan. I was close.
Hi, Mimi.
All right, what's your answer? Go ahead. Say that one more time.
You are smart.
You're smart. Perfect. Exactly. It's a lot of the same things that we say to ourselves, right? We can say to other people to help boost them up too, so that we all get stronger. Let's see. Mr. Jack, you got this. Perfect. Encouraging people. Miss Violet, go ahead. Last one.
You're kind and I love to be around you.
Perfect. That's an awesome one. Stuff like that we say to our friends and to our family, that really helps them to feel better about themselves and feel like they're cared about too, right? Last one. Miss Catherine said, you're good at this. Perfect. Awesome. All great answers. And every time that we do or say something nice to somebody else, right, that helps to boost them, that affects a lot of people. Those of you that were here, Miss Ashley, I like your answer. I love to be your BFF. All right. So like we talked about last week, that can affect more people than just who you're talking to, right? So if Miss Haley goes to Miss Catherine and she says, Miss Catherine, your hair is awesome. You look great today, right? That's something that's super simple. But now she might be in a good mood and she might be feeling good about herself. And now she wants to spread that to other people because people did it to her. So she might look at her little brother, Mr. Jack, and she might say, your hair's awesome, or you're great at Fortnite, or you're great at martial arts. Right? She says those things to him. Now he's in a good mood. Now he might go to his big sister, Miss Megan, and he might do the same thing to her. And then it's going to spread and spread. She goes to all her friends or to her parents, and then her parents go and spread that positivity at work. Right? So then it goes and it spreads to all, everybody. You could eventually, weeks from now or months from now, something that you did might affect somebody in a different country. Right? We don't know, but it can make a big difference. All right, so what are some things that we could say specifically, right? So we know a couple of generic things that we can say, but there's specific people in our life that are important that we do those things for, right? For example, Miss Catherine, you got a lot of siblings. So being nice to them and helping them is step one, right? And then who are some other people that it's important that we help boost their self-esteem? Mr. Jack, you want to type it in the chat? Miss Ashley, go ahead. Oh, we got a notification. I love your outfits, like some designer stuff going on. Your family, good answer, Mr. Jack.
The firefighters, the police.
Awesome. Those are great answers, right? So there's a lot of people that we can help and affect just with our positivity. For example, a couple weeks ago, Miss Lemoy had you guys write letters and give them to somebody else, right? And you guys had some creative answers on who you gave them to, and that's awesome. Right? How about Mr. Jack says family in the chat? How about our parents, right? Hopefully our parents already have awesome self-esteem, but you guys, they care about you more than anybody in the world, right? So hearing positive things from you is really awesome for them too. What are some things that you can do or say for your parents that would help them to boost your self-esteem and make them feel awesome? Miss Haley, go ahead, ma'am.
You could say that you're awesome.
Good, right? Just telling them they're awesome is an awesome one. Write them a card. That's a great one, Miss Catherine. I love it. Showing them that you appreciate them, right? Mr. Michael says you raised your hand. If you have something to say, you can add it. Or Mr. Joseph. Your name says Michael on the screen. I'm not sure. Does anybody else have an answer? Something that we can do to help our parents. Mr. Michael, go ahead.
We could say I love you to them.
Awesome. That's a perfect one, right? Oh, Miss Haley's still up on the screen. See Mr. Michael's face. There we go. Awesome. That's a great one. All right, one more. Let's read the chat. They are the best mom and dad ever. Perfect, Miss Ashley. All right, Miss Violet, last one. You had your hand up for a while. Go ahead, ma'am.
You can help with chores like making dinner or clean your room.
That is perfect, Miss Violet. And that goes right into the last one that we talked about last week, which is what we do, right? So what we see and what we say to ourselves and in other people, those things are really important, right? But the last step is what we actually do, right? There's a saying that actions speak louder than words, right? So we can say, yes, I can. I know I can do this. But then if we never actually go and try, it doesn't matter that we say those things. It's not going to magically help you to do it. You have to still go and do it yourself, right? So let's say I'm trying to learn how to do a backflip, right? That's a pretty tough, crazy thing to learn how to do. If I tell myself this is too hard, I can't do it, and I try it like a level 2 because I'm not really sure of myself, then I'm never going to get it, right? Mr. Aiden, that is correct. Actions speak louder than words. But if I tell myself, yes, I can, I've got this, I might fall on my butt 100 times first. But eventually, because I'm trying at 110% and I know that I've got this, eventually I'll learn it, right? But it's still important that we actually go out and do those things. Now, like I said, at your age, there's some things that are harder to do. You're not going to go off and like help bring food and water to people in other countries, right? But there are other things that we can do that affect the people around us. For example, for ourselves to boost our self-esteem, we can start by taking care of ourselves, right? Brushing our teeth, brushing our hair, making sure that our room is nice and clean, that we're dressed super nice, right? And when we do things like that, that also helps to show that we're leaders to other people, right? It sets a good example. And setting an example is important at your age. That's the first step, right? For example, Mr. Jack is Miss Catherine's little brother. So if Miss Catherine was always just walking around, she didn't want to take a shower, she didn't want to brush her teeth, she didn't do her schoolwork. If she wasn't being a leader or setting a good example for Mr. Jack, he might think that those things are okay, right? So you never know who's looking up to you guys, especially as mastery students. The other students in the school that are younger than you or have lower belts, they look up to you, right? And they want to be like you guys, right? Well, who remembers when they started? Did you ever see the black belts in class and think, oh, I want to be like them? And someday I hope I can get to that level, right? All of you guys, perfect. That's awesome. Oh, not Mr. Ben. It's like, I've got this. No, I don't know if Mr. Ben's seen the black belt class yet, actually. That'll be excited when we get back in person. So it's really important that we start with ourselves just by taking care of ourselves. What are some things that we can do for other people now? So not just say nice things to them, but things that you can actually do that will help them. Miss Ashley, go ahead, ma'am.
Like to help them pick up trash and give like them like food for homeless.
Exactly. That's one big thing that we can do for our world, right? It's about other people and taking care of them, yes, but remember, we've only got one planet, so it's important that we take care of it. Things like picking up litter, volunteering to clean up trash in your neighborhood, or maybe even do that in school. That's an awesome answer. Miss Catherine said the same thing, picking up litter. Great job. Miss Violet, go ahead, ma'am.
Even for people that you don't know, you can help by donating things to people who like might not have anything.
That is perfect. Good answer. We've talked about that the last couple of weeks too. We have the new Mastery Volunteer Program, right? Some of you guys right now are in it. Mr. Aiden is in it, right? Miss Haley, hopefully in the future, you'll be able to help out more with it too. So we have been focusing on finding ways to help people. We did the Thanksgiving food basket, collecting food for people. We just did Toys for Tots, Mastery as a whole, collecting toys for people that might not have as much as we do, right? So those things make a big difference for people. And you might think that donating one can or one toy isn't going to make that big of a difference. But when everybody does that and we set an example by doing it first and helping other people to get involved, it ends up affecting hundreds or even thousands of people, right? So donating and helping other people is a big one. Good answer, Miss Violet. All right, so who has at least one more thing? What can we do, right? So we know what we can do for ourselves. It was fun. Ashley, I love it. You went to Toys for Tots? Hopefully next year we can do a little bit more crazy, exciting stuff like normal. I know there's a little bit less that we can do right now, which is why it's even more important that we set a good example and talk positively, because there's a lot of people that aren't feeling that way right now. Right? So the best thing we can do for them is just to help boost that, wear a smile every day so that when people see it, it helps them to feel better about themselves too. All right. So one more thing, what's something that we can do, even something less, right? We've covered what we can do for the world. What can we do for even just the people in our life? What's something you could do for your parents to help them feel good about themselves and feel like you care about them? Who's got an answer? Mr. Aiden, go ahead, sir.
You could help them wash the house, like the floor.
Perfect, right? Or even just doing our chores without whining and complaining, right? Showing them that you appreciate them, that you know that those chores are important. Good answer, Miss Catherine. Help them around the house, right? So you know those things are important and you want to do them for your parents the first time to show them that you care and appreciate them, right? Miss Jordan, you have something to add?
You
should listen to them the first time that they say something.
Perfect. Listening the first time. How do you guys feel if you're trying to talk to somebody and they're not listening to you? Does that feel good? No, right? If you're trying to tell your friend about something that matters or that you really care about and they just ignore you or they act like it's not important, right? They kind of just brush it off. Does that help to boost your self-esteem or does it bring it down? Right. Now, hopefully as leaders, you have strong self-esteem and we don't let other people affect that, right? But sometimes, especially when we're young, it can make a big difference, even when you're an adult, right? So it's important that not just your parents, by the way, anytime that someone is trying to talk to you about something that they care about or about something that they need help with, it's important that we at least show them that we're listening, right? That's a good way to help with self-esteem. Mr. Aiden, upset and annoyed? Oh, you get upset and annoyed when people ignore you. I understand that feeling. All right, so those are some great answers, right? Listening the first time, helping around the house. I'm glad that you guys came up with those answers on your own. I didn't tell you to do it, so now you got to do it by yourself because it was your answer. Good, and some also awesome ways to help around the world. So great job today. We're going to practice the pillars before we go and talk about some goals. But you guys have great answers. Super impressed with how awesome you guys have done over the last few weeks, coming up with awesome answers, all raising your hands and participating. That shows awesome self-esteem in itself. And just remember that there's no wrong answers, right? Self-esteem is how we feel about ourselves. So don't be afraid to raise your hand and give some answers out. So quickly, oh, Miss Jordan is practiced. She is ready to go. You did them level 10 last week. We might have to put you up on the screen. All right, so let's practice together as a team first. Ready? Everybody stand up, shake it out, get ready, stand up if you can. And we're gonna practice the pillars together as a team. All right, ready? So together, everybody follow me, say confidence. Good job, Miss Jordan. Let's have Miss Haley unmute too, just so that we can hear some loud, strong voices. Miss Jordan, Miss Haley, you guys can stay unmuted. Good, one more time, say confidence.
Confidence.
Good, say positive attitude.
Positive attitude.
Say self-awareness.
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 Accountability.
Accountability.
Good, say gratitude.
Gratitude.
Generosity.
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 Humility.
Humility.
And forgiveness.
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 Nice job. All right, I'm gonna have to put Miss Jordan up on the screen because this is what self-esteem looks like. She's not afraid to try her best, a loud, clear voice, and she does the moves level 10. By the way, that's the point of the pillars, is we're trying to make what we do and what we say match, right? When we say we're gonna do something and then we accomplish it, that helps boost our self-esteem. Same thing with this, right? We wanna move strong and sound strong together. Ready? So let's say it stronger than Miss Jordan. Let's see who can beat her. Ready? Everyone say confidence.
Confidence.
Good. Say positive attitude.
Positive attitude.
Self-awareness.
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 Good. Accountability.
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 Nice job. Say gratitude.
Gratitude.
Generosity.
Generosity.
Good. Humility.
Humility.
And forgiveness.
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 Great job. All right. Everyone clap it up for Miss Jordan. Nice job, ma'am. All right. So quickly, let's see. For this week, one of the biggest things that the self-esteem book talks about, right, is doing and accomplishing goals. So the last few weeks, we've done a lot of things to help spread joy and positivity to other people, which is super important. So this week, I want you to set your own goal, okay? So it could be basically anything. If you want it to be a certain amount of push-ups or sit-ups that you do, if you want it to be maybe Miss Jordan, right? You're an artist, you like to do artwork, so maybe it's completing a certain kind of drawing. I just want you to set a goal for yourself, okay? Maybe your goal is to do your chores the first time, right? Without being asked, right? Set your goal for yourself, and I want you to talk to mom. I don't know if your mom or dad is with you right now. Whose mom and dad is near them? Good, perfect. So make sure that they can hear this too. I want you guys to set a goal for yourself, right? Something that's gonna help boost your self-esteem, make you feel good about yourself, and then achieve it before we come back next week. Okay, so nothing crazy like becoming the president. It's a great goal for the future. Let's set a short-term goal though, and see who can accomplish it, because that's what self-esteem comes from, right? So setting a goal and accomplishing it to feel better about ourselves. So awesome job today. We got through the entire self-esteem book. So congratulations. Today's sort of like your graduation in self-esteem. What we see and think about ourselves and others, what we say to ourselves and others, and then what we do for ourselves and others that can all affect the world, right? So great job. Let me know what those goals are. Did anyone accomplish the goal from last week? Doing things without being asked around the house to help our parents? Miss Haley, perfect. Miss Jordan? I know not all of us were here last week. Mr. Aiden, you didn't do it? I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're a good listener already. All right, so set those goals with mom and dad, whatever it is. It could be extra push-ups and sit-ups every day. It could be completing a drawing, like something that Miss Jordan might do, or completing an art project, or it could be just doing your chores when you're supposed to, right? Always making dinner. Nice one, Miss Ashley. I love it. All right, so great job today. Does anybody have anything to add quick? No? All right, awesome job. Everybody clap it up for yourselves. I hope everybody has an awesome Christmas. Is anybody doing anything exciting? Have some fun stuff coming up? All right, so we're gonna end together as a team quick, and then you can tell me about some of your crazy Christmas things that you have coming up, all right? Everybody put your hands in like this. Awesome job today. We're gonna say, yes, I can on 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I can. Great job.